guys, welcome to the 3D market commentary. My name is Becky. My email address is here, becky@tradictive.com. There's also support@tradictive.com, so two different email addresses that you can use to get hold of us if you have questions. Before we start, let me just make sure the disclaimers are being covered. So there they are, top left hand corner. Please read them, not just for legal reasons of course, but also to understand what you can expect from these kind of videos and to understand that they are demonstrations. Now, a 3D market commentary is a video that we do every day, Monday to Friday, where we expand on and explain an email that we send to our members. So if you're not already a free member, you can go to, let me bring it up here, tradewithufos.com/Becky. That's the link up here. If you go to that link, you can get yourself a free Trade with UFOs membership at the top. Just fill that in and click through the steps. And then you'll get the email that is sent out every day that I'm about to show you. And then these videos make a little bit more sense, put things more into context. Also from this link, which is tradewithufos.com/Becky, you can book one-on-one coaching with me if you'd like. You can also come down here and ask questions in a public space, which is great because it means I can then answer them in a public space and we can all learn from the same area. So ideally, that's what you do. You'd come here to ask questions. So as I said, we send out an email every day. It looks like this. And obviously the data on it corresponds with the markets. So let's just take a look at those. So we call it a 3D approach or a 3D market commentary because we are looking at three separate elements in the markets. Now in this email, we send out information on 5 major markets in the world and we look at 3 major elements per market. Now we're looking at a daily chart for each of these markets. So of course, different things happen on different time frames, but with this, we're looking at daily charts and we are looking at the continuous futures contracts to represent them. If you don't know what that means, essentially we are just looking at representations of these markets. So the 3 different things that we look at, first things first, market climate, upcoming market direction. Where's the market going? Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it going nowhere? Therefore, do we buy it? Do we sell it? Do we do nothing? We need to know the answer to that question. Now for us, we use an app called AutoClimate, which is a free app on most platforms you can get it on. And if we ignore the lines and just focus on the dots, these dots tell us where we have probabilities. So if it's a thick red dot, that tells us probability is down. If it's a thick blue dot, that tells us probability is up. If we have a thin dot of either colour, that tells us probability is nowhere. Therefore, we do nothing. So we use technology to help us answer that first question. Then we want to know, if I'm going to buy, where am I going to buy? If I'm going to sell, where am I going to sell? So we want to know where the buy and sell UFOs are. Stands for unfilled orders. Essentially, what we want to know, where are the buyers, where are the sellers? Again, we use an app, we use technology to help us. It's our AutoUFOs for this case. And it shows us green areas and prices associated with that. That shows us where we have buyers. It shows us these red areas, and again, prices associated. That shows us where we have sellers. So then we have an idea of where are the buyers and sellers, and therefore where is price likely to turn. If it hits sell orders, it's likely to fall. If it hits buy orders, it's likely to go up. So again, we want to know where they are. So we'll show you that per market as well. And then we want to look at market volatility. How quickly can we expect these markets to move? So let's go and have a look at each of these markets, starting with the S&P 500. Now the S&P 500 is the top 500 US stocks. And again, stocks here. Now with that in mind, we have a confirmed downwards climate on US stocks, a thick red dot there, probability downwards. Now, something that's interesting with this is that usually the US stock market would go down for 3 candles on a daily chart, so for 3 days. But we're actually on candle number 9 to the downside, which tells us that we have gone past by what is normal, 3 times past what is normal, which is interesting. Obviously it doesn't happen so much, otherwise that would be the norm, right? Now, just because something's gone past the norm, we see things that go way past the norm, we see things that fall really short of the norm. That's kind of how we end up with that norm in the middle. But in this case, of course, we are 3 times overextended to the downside. So I wouldn't be surprised to see it change direction, but we do still have probability down. And what we also need to bear in mind as well, if I squidge this a little bit, is that we have buy orders quite a way away. So current price is 4,366 and the closest stack of buyers is 4,123 to 4,055.50. So quite a way away. We have sell orders closer to us at 4478.50, 33.25. So bear that in mind. Overall probability down still for the S&P. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect the US stock market to move up or down in 1 year of 22.76%, which means in a day, 62.64 points up or down. In a week, 137.9 points up or down. And in a month, 287.05 points up or down. So bear that in mind as well in terms of the movement expected. So that's the S&P, overall probability down. Now again, bear in mind, I'm using words like probability, statistically speaking, things like that, because we don't know, nobody knows what's going to 100% happen in the markets. Nobody knows what's going to 100% happen about anything. So of course, we still manage our in case we're wrong. We still might layer in other elements here to add to the probabilities, but for us, we wouldn't want to be trading unless there is at least a little bit of probability, and that's why we look to these technologies, these apps, this data, these statistics to help us figure out what to do. So overall probability is down on the S&P, and then we would take it from there. Okay, so next market is crude oil. Now, in the meantime, it says there about looking to educate yourselves. We do a bunch of courses, futures, forex, stocks, backtesting, trading plan, psychology. If you think any of those would be helpful, by all means, click there, browse on the website, take the courses. They're very affordable. And most of them come with a 3-month complimentary access to the apps anyway. So AutoClimate is a free app on most platforms you can use it on. AutoUFOs is a paid-for app. It's a subscription-based service. You can subscribe directly to the UFOs if you want. You don't have to do a course. You can just get the UFOs. But oftentimes it's actually cheaper to do a course and get 3 months free access than it is to simply just pay for the UFOs. So check that out, see what works better for you. Now, back to oil. We have a confirmed downwards climate here on oil as well. A thick red dot there, probability to the downside. Now, usually this market would go down for 7 candles, and we're on candle number 2. So at the start of what would be a usual move to the downside of 7. So that's good in terms of probability to the downside. We have sell orders here between 72.93 to 71.03, and we are within those sell orders right now. They've already worked a little bit. They pushed price down here. Price came back into them. Wouldn't be surprised to see price go down again. So overall probability down here with oil. Now, in terms of volatility, we expect movement up or down in 1 year of 34.45%, which is up or down in these given time frames. So in a day, 1.55 points, in a week, 3.42 points, and in 1 month, 7.13 points. Again, that's moving up or down, either direction. So that's oil. Moving on to the next market now, which is gold. Now, it says here about coaching and support. We offer a bunch of coaching and support for free on YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn and things like that. So you can join us on those sessions for free. We also have a closed coaching community. It's a small monthly fee that gives you access to more of our time in a closed environment. Either way is fine, whatever's best for you. So gold, we have again here a confirmed downwards climate. A lot of our markets moving down today. Thick red dot, probability downwards. Usually goes down for 7 candles. We're on candle number 5, so coming to the end of what would be a usual move to the downside. We also have buy orders here at 1768.4 to 1742.3. So again, if price were to come down and hit those, we would expect price to go up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see price change over the next coming days. We do have sell orders up here that have already worked a few times. Once, twice, 3, 4, 5 times these sell orders have pushed price back down again. That's at 1866 to 1804.4. So at the moment, still overall probability down. We've got those buy orders in the way though. I wouldn't be surprised to see price bounce around for a little while in between these orders before it redefines itself one direction or the other. For the time being, very short term probability to the downside here with gold. Now, in terms of volatility, we'd expect it to move up or down in 1 year of 16.46%, which means up or down in these given periods of time. In a day, it would be 18.4 points. In a week, 40.5 points. and in a month 84.31 points either up or down. So that's gold. Okay, next market, which is the US dollar. Now the US dollar, say all the time, is responsible for about 80% of transactions worldwide daily. Be aware of it. Whether you trade it or not, it's not a bad thing to know what it's doing, because it will likely impact a lot of the markets that you could be trading. So the US dollar, confirmed upwards climate, thick blue dot here with the US dollar, usually goes up for 5 candles, and we're on candle number 4. So again, coming to the end of what might be a usual move to the upside. We have buy orders beneath us at 92.88 to 92.31. Sell orders just above us at 93.75 to 93.455. So if price were to hit these sell orders, wouldn't be surprised to see them fall. If price came down and hit these buy orders, wouldn't be surprised to see it go up. Overall, still probability slightly to the upside with the US dollar until it hits those sell orders. We've still got a little bit of room to get there. Overall probability up here with the US dollar. Now, in terms of volatility, the US dollar is less volatile than the others. We'd expect movement up or down in 1 year of 5.26%, which means in a day, 0.31 points up or down, in a week, 0.68 points, and in 1 month, 1.41 points up or down. So that's the US dollar. Last but not least is Bitcoin, or specifically backed Bitcoin is what we're looking at here. Now it says there about interested but have questions. By all means, you can schedule a clarification call with one of our experts, talk through the different options you have available to you, see what might work out best for you. So with Bitcoin, we have confirmed downwards climate, thick red dot there, probability to the downside. We don't know how long Bitcoin usually goes down for because it's not old enough yet. We don't have enough data to say this is what usually happens or doesn't. So kind of in the dark there, but what we do know is probability to the downside. Now we're kind of in the middle of nowhere when it comes to orders. So we're here, that's the price right now. We have buy orders all the way down here at 32,820 to 31,615, and we're at 41,915. So kind of really slap bang in the middle between our buy and sell orders. Not close enough to either stack of them for them to really have movement or really have any impact today. Overall, it's the climate that's giving us the slight probability down with Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin is more volatile than the other markets. We would expect it to go up and down, up or down in a year of 90.9, in a day, up or down of 2,413.72. In a week, it's 5,313.56. And in a month, 11,061.06. So bear that in mind with Bitcoin. So we've looked at each of these markets. We've looked at where we have probabilities, up or down, or maybe nowhere. We've used the auto climate to help us with that. Was it a thick blue dot or a thick red dot or a thin dot? We've looked at buy and sell UFOs. Where do we have buyers? Where do we have sellers that could push the price up or down respectively? And we've looked at volatility. How quickly could these markets move up or down within given periods of time? So last thing to bear in mind is our weekly economic calendar. What news do we have coming out in the week that could affect us? So let's just scroll down a bit here. We get this from the FX Street economic calendar, so you can go and have a look at that too yourself. What we do is we filter by high impact news on most major world markets. We don't care what the news says, we just want to know, are there scheduled reports coming out that could create volatility in the markets? So today being Wednesday, we have some news coming out on the US dollar in the afternoon that could impact the US dollar and therefore actually quite a lot of other markets. So bear that in mind if you trade anything related to the US dollar or the US dollar itself. Any questions? If you feel comfortable to, please go to tradewithufos.com/Becky. Get yourself your free Trade with UFOs membership. You'll get that email every day, and then you can come down here and ask questions publicly so that I can answer them publicly, and hopefully we all learn from this area. I will let you guys go for today. Hope you guys have a great trading day. I'll see you again tomorrow and Friday. I'll be back, so I'll see you then. Have a great rest of your trading week and take care, guys. See you.